How's it going, guys? Dynamic Entry here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. The Villains Limit event was finally announced on Global. We've been expecting it for a while, and it's probably going to drop very soon. And in that event, you will actually be able to collect Dokkan Awakening medals, which you can use to Dokkan Awaken the 3 old SSRs, the Physical Piccolo, the Agility Super Saiyan 1 Goku, and the TEQ Super Saiyan 1 Vegeta. All 3 of these cards were originally pretty crappy, their passives are pretty much garbage, and they have no metagame relevance. So now the question you might ask is, how good do they become after Dokkan Awakening them? And I'm going to address this question in this video. Fatality. So we're just going to have a look at the Dokkan Awakened versions, because you can rest assured the non-Dokkan one are absolutely terrible. Their passives are kind of worthless, they almost never trigger for Goku and Vegeta, and Piccolo's passive is also kind of worthless. But enough about the old cards, let's talk about the new cards. First off, the Agility Goku. His 12 key multiplier burns my eyes. 115 is just terrible for an SSR. I know the old Agility Goku had that key multiplier too, and they basically just kept the 12 key multiplier that they previously had when they Dokkanned him, but it's still awful. There's no way around that. His HP is actually pretty decent. 8,600 is a good point to be at in terms of HP. His attack is low mid-tier, 7,400. It's okay, but it's nothing great, especially considering he's a Transcended UR. And 4,000 defense, that's fine with me. His super attack is Instant Transmission Kamehameha. It has a rare chance to stun and does extreme damage, so it kinda sucks that he only has extreme damage as the normal SSR, the undokkanned one, but at least he has a small chance to stun, I guess. The leader skill of all 3 of these cards is basically not going to be used for anything in your game, so I'm not going to really talk about them. Forget about these 3 leader skills, you're pretty much never going to use them. Now let's talk about the TEQ Vegeta. The first thing I notice is his 12 key multiplier is 130, so that's already a lot better. But his stats, what's up with his stats? Why does he have 7,000 attack only? That's too low. He should be at least as high as Goku, and even Goku was low already. Of course, this game always tries to make Vegeta out to be a defensive character, so he actually has higher defense. But I mean, it doesn't really matter if you have 4,100 defense or 4,700. There's no significant difference that you notice during gameplay. You get a bit more HP back from key orbs, but, I mean, who really cares? And you have 8,400 HP, which is decent. Final Flash does extreme damage, but it doesn't stun like Goku's does, so in terms of stats and super attack, the Goku is superior. But we'll have to come back to that discussion when we look at their links at passive. Now the Piccolo here has the best 12 key multiplier, and he really needs it because his attack stat is atrocious. His defense and HP are both really, really good. 9,000 HP is great. 5,400 defense is really crazy high. This character is supposed to be a tanker. He's made to be a defensive card. Now you can debate whether or not defensive cards are worth it, but as far as defensive cards go, this is one of the better ones. His super attack originally did huge damage, and luckily they decided to upgrade it to be extreme damage now. He does Hell Zone Grenade, and I'm glad it does at least extreme damage. I really think all 3 of these cards could have easily gotten supreme damage without any kind of issues to balancing, so it's a bit sad that they decided to only give them all extreme damage, but that's what we got. Now let's look at the passives and link skills. Let's start off by noting that, strangely enough, Piccolo and Goku have the link skill known as Pioneer of Awakening in the JP version, and it's translated as the first awakened in Global. That's actually the link skill that gives plus 25% attack, and originally linked up the Strength Super Saiyan God with the Physical Super Saiyan Bardock. It's kind of weird that they have it. So Piccolo and Goku have this link, but Vegeta does not. Goku, of course, comes along with the full Super Saiyan package. He has the Super Saiyan Link skill, he has Saiyan Warrior Race, Golden Warrior, and Kamehameha too, if you care for the Kamehameha link at this point. It's kinda not really used anymore in top tier, but it's still a decent link to have. One of the cool things about this Goku card is that he has the Blazing Battle link. That's the link you use to fight against Broly, and since he's an agility card, he's actually really useful against Broly, but he already was useful in his regular SSR form, so that's nothing particularly new. On top of all the links I mentioned now, he has the Rebirth link, which is translated as Shattering the Limit in the global version. That's the link that all the Rebirth Dokkan Awakenings have, and is a +2 key link. So it's pretty cool that they have this link, and as time goes on, a lot of cards will actually start getting this link. We're just getting started with the Rebirths. The In Super Saiyan Gohan Teen is going to Dokkan the In Super Saiyan Trunks, the Fat Majin Buu, and a lot of other cards, including Majin Vegeta and stuff like that. So this is just the beginning of this link skill, and at the moment it's kind of crap, but Rebirth is going to become a kinda decent-ish link in the future. It's definitely not the same link as Prepared for Battle or Shocking Speed though. And speaking of which, Vegeta has Prepared for Battle, and that pretty much makes him one of the most useful cards in this batch, simply because he's able to sustain the rest of your team in a top tier metagame team. Now, he isn't himself top tier in any sense, but he can fit as a subunit in those teams, boosting your other cards. He also comes along with Super Saiyan, of course, Saiyan Warrior Race, Golden Warrior, everything you'd expect, and then he has the Vegeta family, a decent +1 key link with Vegeta and Trunks cards, but you're not really going to use it up until maybe the TEQ Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Dokkan Awakening comes out. At that point, Vegeta family becomes a kind of decent link, but at the moment it's still just a filler link. Blazing Battle too, like Goku, but since he's a tech unit and not an agility, he's not that useful against Broly, and to be honest, at this point there's just so many better strategies to beat down Broly than relying on cards like this Vegeta here. And then the Rebirth link, of course, the Shattering the Limit link, he has it too. Piccolo, as mentioned, has the First Awakened link, which, I mean, okay, but you're not really ever going to use him in conjunction with the other cards. At least I can't see you do that. Maybe in a physical mono team with the physical Bardock, but basically that link is never going to be used. He has the Prodigies link, which is kind of rare in physical again, and I cannot imagine you using this Piccolo outside of a mono team. He just doesn't fit into a rainbow team. Strongest Duo on Earth or Warrior of Veteran, a kind of worthless link that mostly links with SR cards. Namekian, which, let's just go over that because there are no other good Namekian cards other than Piccolo's, and in fact not even the Piccolo cards are good. Gaze of Respect, a key link with Gohan, which you're never going to use, and Soul vs. Soul, which is the link you can use against TEQ Cell in his Dokkan Festival, but you also won't exactly be using this Piccolo in that Dokkan Festival, since there's so many other strategies that you can utilize there. And Cell's regeneration is really not the huge problem in that Dokkan Festival anyway. And then of course the Rebirth link. So let's talk about their passives and make a final judgment on their quality. Goku gets 7 ki if his HP is below 50%. Now naively you might think, oh yeah, 7 ki, that's amazing, but when are you ever under 50% of HP and want to stay there? Never really. Under 80% HP passives are kind of decent because it's very possible to consistently stay under 80% HP, but under 50% HP, you're getting to the point where enemies can one-shot you with a super attack, so you don't want to stay there. And even if you manage to do this, and your Goku is at super attack 10 from farming, he still won't do a lot of damage. So the 7 ki is kind of overkill. It would be much better if he would get maybe 5 ki, but instead at a better cutoff. At this rate, you're just not going to be able to utilize his passive effectively without risking death, and it's just not worth it. Now Vegeta's passive is a lot better than Goku's because his cutoff is so much better. When his HP is 80% or lower, he gets an attack boost of 2500, which is decent, and he gets +3 ki. So in total package, this Vegeta in my opinion is better than the Goku, considering he gets an attack boost, a ki boost at a realistic HP cutoff. He also does extreme damage, his 12 ki multiplier is better, and he has Ready for War. So in my opinion, this TEQ Vegeta is better than the Agility Goku. Now that does not take into account the fact that you can freely farm the Goku to Super Attack 10, while you cannot do this with the Super Saiyan Vegeta here at the moment. You actually will be able to do so when the Super Saiyan 3 Dokkan Festival for Vegeta comes out, since there's an SR Super Saiyan Vegeta that you can farm there. So even in that regard, it's actually eventually easier to raise Vegeta's super attack compared to Goku's. And finally we have Piccolo, the tanker card that raises all of your allies' defense by 70%. Now the question is, does that actually matter? Can you actually feel 70% defense increase in the game. And I've tested this in JP before, and I have to say, yes, you do realize that you're taking less damage from your enemy and you're regenerating more HP. So 70% defense up is absolutely something you shouldn't scoff at. The only problem, of course, is he takes away so much damage potential for your team. So he's a very niche card, and I can't really think of any situation where I'd use him, but for what he is, he's decent. So I think actually Piccolo got the biggest boost out of these 3 cards, Vegeta is the best card out of these 3 cards, and Goku kind of got the shaft, mostly because of his 12 key multiplier and his passive, and the fact that he does not have Ready for War like Vegeta does. And there's just so many Super Saiyan Goku cards that he just has so much competition to work against, whereas Piccolo, there's not a lot of Piccolo cards. So if you want to play him, it's not like you have to micromanage your team composition. Overall, I'd say none of these cards is still really any good, except, of course, if you don't have a full mono team, then these cards are sure to find a place on it and treat you well until you can get a better team. But I'm not particularly impressed by these cards. I'm happy to discuss this though, so drop a comment if you disagree. And let's talk it out. Okay, so those are my views on these 3 cards. Tell me in the comments if you agree. Also, tell me if you have any of these 3 cards, if you're looking forward to Dokkan Awaken them. The only card I have out of these 3 is the Piccolo, and I'm actually probably going to hold off Dokkan Awakening him because I haven't raised his super attack to 10 yet, and if you Dokkan Awaken them, it actually gets a lot harder to raise their super attack with non-dupe cards. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this video, check out my channel for all the other Dokkan Battle content I do. I make content regularly, and I'll see you in the next video that I'll make. Bye guys.